Human nature is the oldest battlefield. Long before kingdoms rose or empires fell, men were already fighting the hidden wars of motive, envy, loyalty, and fear. The Machiavellian strategist knows that to master others, one must first master the raw machinery that drives them. Power does not begin in weapons or wealth, it begins in understanding what moves people when reason fails. Machiavelli saw humanity without illusion. He understood that beneath morality lies self-interest, beneath affection lies ambition, and beneath peace lies the constant motion of power. People rarely act from what they declare. They act from what they desire. The one who grasps this truth rules quietly over those still blinded by idealism. The laws of human nature are not rules of kindness or virtue, they are the architecture of behavior. To study them is to strip away the disguises of civility and see humanity as it truly is: predictable, contradictory, endlessly self-serving. The strategist who masters these laws does not judge. He observes. He sees weakness where others see innocence, opportunity where others see chaos, and advantage where others see coincidence. This study is not for the sentimental. It demands that you watch people with the same precision a sculptor studies marble, searching for cracks, understanding weight, shaping form. When you learn to read motives, to sense hidden fears, and to anticipate desire, you will cease reacting to humanity and begin directing it. In this exploration, we will uncover 7 Machiavellian laws of human nature, each a lens through which you will learn to read, influence, and master the world around you. These are not theories, they are instruments of command. For once you understand the machinery of man, his actions are no longer mysterious, they are mechanical, and you hold the key that turns them. Let's begin. Every man believes himself virtuous until desire calls his name. Scratch the surface of any noble act, and you will find the pulse of self-interest beneath. The Machiavellian strategist accepts this truth as his compass. He knows that people act not from principle, but from advantage. They may disguise their motives in morality or loyalty, but beneath every promise lies the question, what is in it for me? Machiavelli wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, and deceptive, not because they are evil, but because they are human. To expect gratitude is to court disappointment. To rely on love is to prepare for betrayal. The strategist therefore builds his designs not on affection, but on incentive. He rewards self-interest instead of condemning it, and in doing so, he gains control of it. To apply this law, begin by assuming that everyone, without exception, seeks gain material, emotional, or psychological. When someone helps you, ask what reward they seek. When they oppose you, ask what fear drives them. When they flatter you, look for the advantage they expect. Never react to the gesture, read the motive. The strategist learns to turn others' self-interest into machinery that serves his own. He gives people what they already crave: recognition, opportunity, security, or status. By aligning his goals with their desires, he transforms potential adversaries into instruments. They will think they are pursuing their own success, yet they will be moving in rhythm with his will. This is the subtlety of power, to rule through satisfaction, not suppression. The one who punishes self-interest fights endlessly against human nature. The one who directs it wins effortlessly. People will do for themselves what they would never do for you. If you can make those two paths identical, you command them without force. But beware sentimentality. Believing in loyalty without leverage is the beginning of ruin. Love and friendship have value only when supported by structure. The strategist rewards reliability, but never depends on it. He recognizes that even the faithful are faithful only to their own emotional needs. In practice, this law means creating systems, not pleas. You should not rely on words or promises, but on the simple calculation of benefit. If cooperation profits them, they will never abandon you. If it does not, they will. Your task is not to demand virtue, but to design advantage. Machiavelli would call this realism, not cynicism. To understand self-interest is to understand predictability. Once you can calculate what others want, their actions cease to surprise you. You no longer feel betrayed, you feel confirmed. Every empire, every company, every relationship is sustained by this invisible transaction. Learn to see it, and you will no longer be fooled by charm or rhetoric. Human beings may speak in moral tones, but they act in economic ones. The wise do not fight self-interest, they harness it. For those who know this law, loyalty becomes a tool, generosity becomes a trap, and understanding becomes control. People see what they wish to see, not what is real. The Machiavellian strategist builds his power upon this blindness. He knows that perception governs behavior more strongly than truth ever will. To control what others believe about you is to control how they treat you. Reality influences the few who think, appearance rules the many who react. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must seem merciful, faithful, humane, and honest, yet be prepared to act in the opposite manner when necessity demands it. The appearance of virtue is more valuable than virtue itself because people judge with their eyes before they judge with their minds. What is visible becomes truth to the majority. The strategist therefore crafts perception as carefully as a painter arranges color. He understands that reputation is not about authenticity, it is about consistency. If you appear disciplined, your lapses will be forgiven. If you appear powerful, your threats will never be tested. Appearance is armor. Truth is only optional. To apply this law, you must first decide what impression serves your design. Do you wish to appear benevolent or formidable, reserved or generous, approachable or distant? Choose one carefully and embody it completely. The crowd rewards clarity of image and punishes contradiction. The Machiavellian mind never confuses honesty with exposure. Once your appearance is established, protect it ruthlessly. Every word, every gesture, every silence must reinforce it. If you appear calm, never argue. If you appear loyal, never explain your motives. Consistency creates myth, and myth is more enduring than reality. Even when you fail, people will excuse your actions to preserve the image they already believe. The strategist also manipulates the appearances of others. He learns to project his rival's flaws into public view while keeping his own hidden. He allows opponents to reveal too much, to speak too freely, to act impulsively under provocation. In contrast, his restraint becomes virtue, his mystery becomes depth. He wins not through confrontation, but through contrast. Understand this: humans do not follow truth, they follow impressions of strength. The calm man appears wise, the confident man appears right, the silent man appears dangerous. Control these impressions, and you can shape outcomes without argument. Yet, appearance must never feel artificial. The strategist's mask must grow into his face. If others sense performance, they will seek authenticity to destroy it. The art lies in alignment. Your behavior must embody your chosen image so seamlessly that even you begin to believe it. Then, and only then, will others believe without doubt. Machiavelli would remind us that visibility is vulnerability only when unmanaged. The one who directs his own appearance is never exposed. He is defined by design. When your image becomes the narrative others repeat in your absence, you have transcended reputation, you have become legend. The law of appearance reveals a brutal truth. Perception creates reality. Those who control the surface rule the substance. Let others chase sincerity, you will master belief. For in the theater of human nature, truth is only the script, perception is the performance, and performance decides everything. Reason does not move people, emotion does. The Machiavellian strategist knows that the heart makes decisions long before the mind provides excuses. Those who appeal to logic gain agreement. Those who move emotion gain obedience. Power flows not to the rational, but to the one who can orchestrate feeling without being captured by it. Machiavelli wrote that men are driven by two forces, hope and fear. Both are emotional currencies, and the wise ruler trades in them daily. He gives hope to the loyal, fear to the defiant, and calm to the uncertain. The fool tries to persuade others through argument. The strategist shapes their moods. Whoever directs emotion directs behavior. To master this law, begin by recognizing that every human action is emotional at its root. Ambition, love, envy, loyalty, all are disguised forms of desire or fear. People want to feel secure, admired, important, or safe. Appeal to those emotions, and they will follow without question. Ignore them, and even your logic will fall on deaf ears. Emotion, however, is a double-edged weapon. The strategist uses it to command others, but never lets it command him. He studies his own feelings with the same cold precision he applies to others. Anger, once understood, becomes leverage. Desire, once analyzed, becomes direction. By mastering his own emotions, he gains immunity to manipulation. In power, the calm mind dominates the emotional crowd. When you remain unshaken as others erupt, they unconsciously recognize authority. They cannot explain it, but they feel it their chaos, reflecting your composure. Control of emotion, then, is not suppression, it is orchestration. You express what serves you and conceal what does not. The strategist learns to use emotion as instrument, not confession. A touch of warmth disarms suspicion. A flash of anger enforces boundary. A tone of sorrow provokes guilt. He performs feeling deliberately, each display calculated to achieve a result. People believe emotion because it feels authentic even when it is not. The great leaders of history knew this. Sincerity is not always truth, but it must always appear true. To manipulate emotion ethically, align it with direction, inspire ambition to motivate, not deceive, stir fear to prevent harm, not to exploit. Machiavelli taught that cruelty is only virtuous when it serves stability. The strategist does not abuse emotion, he governs it. You will find that emotional mastery does not distance you from people, it draws them nearer. They will feel safe around your calm, guided by your confidence, loyal to your steadiness. You become their emotional anchor. The more volatile the world becomes, the more they depend on your equilibrium. Dependence, not devotion, is the foundation of loyalty. This law ends where control begins. Feel deeply, but express selectively. Let emotion power you internally, but reveal only what directs others externally. The crowd obeys not the one who argues best, but the one who feels most convincingly. To rule human nature, rule emotion. For those who command the storm within themselves can summon calm or chaos in others at will. Every human being hides a fracture line, a point of insecurity that governs behavior more than reason ever could. The Machiavellian strategist sees weakness not as flaw but as opportunity. He knows that what people most deny about themselves is what most controls them. Find a man's weakness, and you will find his strings. Machiavelli wrote that men offend either from fear or hatred, and both arise from their weakness. Fear is the anticipation of loss. Hatred is the expression of impotence. Those who appear confident often hide the deepest vulnerabilities. The strategist's task is not to judge them, but to identify what they cannot afford to lose. Once you understand that, persuasion becomes command. Weakness comes in many forms: vanity, insecurity, guilt, desire, fear of irrelevance, hunger for approval. Some crave recognition, others crave safety, many crave control itself. To find the weakness, listen to what people defend too quickly or boast about too often. Every exaggeration is compensation. Every overreaction reveals the soft spot. The strategist learns to move around these vulnerabilities with surgical precision. When he seeks to build loyalty, he protects a man's weakness. When he seeks to dismantle resistance, he exposes it. To those he favors, he becomes the shield. To those he opposes, the mirror. Both paths lead to control. To exploit weakness effectively, you must never reveal awareness of it. People resent the one who exposes their fragility but obey the one who soothes it. The strategist cloaks manipulation in empathy. He offers validation where others offer judgment. He becomes the one person who seems to understand a perception that turns even enemies into dependents. However, the greatest use of this law lies in self-awareness. Before studying others' weaknesses, study your own. Ask yourself what emotion provokes you to rashness, what fear makes you compliant, what desire clouds your judgment. Until you identify your own fracture lines, others will always have access to your control panel. Machiavelli warned that men who cannot govern themselves invite governance by others. The strategist therefore fortifies his weaknesses through discipline. If pride tempts him, he practices humility in private. If desire distracts him, he builds detachment. If fear consumes him, he confronts it until it loses sharpness. The man with no visible weakness becomes the rarest and most respected presence in any room. Weakness in others should never evoke contempt. It should evoke comprehension. People are predictable in proportion to their wounds. Their fears write their patterns, their insecurities, their loyalties. When you can read this script, you cease to take betrayal personally. It becomes the expected reflex of a fragile soul protecting itself. Machiavelli believed that the wise ruler ruled not through cruelty, but through understanding. The strategist applies pressure precisely where resistance is weakest and relief where tension is strongest. He bends without breaking, guides without forcing, and conquers without appearing to. In this law lies quiet supremacy. Never ignore weakness, never display your own, and never confuse mercy with exposure. The one who understands fragility rules the unguarded. The one who conceals his own becomes untouchable. No emotion corrodes more silently than envy. It disguises itself as criticism, moral concern, or even admiration, yet its purpose is always the same: to drag down what it cannot equal. The Machiavellian strategist knows that envy is the tax of greatness. The moment your success becomes visible, someone will begin to hate you for it. Their hatred is not about what you have, it is about what your existence reminds them they lack. Machiavelli wrote that men will forgive murder sooner than superiority. This truth remains eternal. People can tolerate failure, weakness, and even cruelty, but they cannot endure the sight of another's effortless strength. Envy is the revenge of the mediocre upon the exceptional. It is the weapon of those who cannot compete, yet refuse to disappear. The strategist does not seek to eliminate envy, he anticipates it. He understands that to rise above others is to provoke them. He expects resentment as a sign of progress. The weak attempt to correct envy through humility, but humility rarely disarms it. It merely invites exploitation. The wise conceal their full advantage until it is secure, revealing power only when its position is unassailable. There are 3 strategies to master this law. The first is concealment. Never flaunt your success until its structure is permanent. Early visibility attracts envy before defense is possible. Build in silence. Reveal only when revelation serves purpose. Let others discover your strength by accident, not by your announcement. The second is diversion. Feed envy, small satisfactions, compliments, gestures of equality, shared credit, so that others feel less threatened. This does not require deceit, only balance. Allow them enough illusion of parity to preserve their pride. The greatest leaders make others feel important while quietly remaining beyond their reach. The third strategy is transmutation. Turn envy into admiration by converting rivals into participants. When people invest in your success, they can no longer resent it. Share recognition strategically, assign roles, delegate visible importance. Their pride becomes your armor. The strategist does not seek isolation. He seeks controlled loyalty. Yet the deepest mastery lies in recognizing envy before it matures. It hides in backhanded praise, in sudden coldness, in subtle withdrawal of support. Never confront it directly. Confrontation only feeds it. Instead, neutralize it through distance or silence. Let the envious exhaust themselves in speculation while you continue forward. Envy can never be destroyed because it lives in every heart, even the humble envy, the fearless. The strategist accepts this as part of human architecture. He uses it as a barometer. Envy follows relevance. When you are envied, it means your existence commands attention. Machiavelli would counsel, never resent envy. Control its direction. Let it pull attention toward your legend, not against it. The crowd must feel your superiority, but never think you flaunt it. Let them admire your composure instead of your possessions, your calm instead of your wealth. Power cloaked in dignity disarms envy and transforms it into reverence. Understand this final truth. Envy is inevitable, but hatred is optional. When you provoke envy, stay silent. When you sense it, stay gracious. The moment you respond defensively, you stoop to equality, and equality is death to power. The wise accept envy as their shadow and walk on, knowing that every whisper of resentment is proof that their presence matters. Human beings fear isolation more than pain. To belong is their deepest instinct. To stand apart, their deepest terror. The Machiavellian strategist studies this dependency as both a danger and an opportunity. He knows that most people will abandon conviction, even betray themselves, simply to remain inside the safety of the group. The crowd worships inclusion more than truth. Machiavelli wrote that men follow the customs of their time as soldiers follow the flag they obey without reflection. The strategist sees this reflex as the foundation of control. Whoever defines what is normal defines what is right. People conform not because they believe, but because they dread being seen as deviant. The ruler who shapes the standard shapes the minds of his subjects. To master this law, first understand how conformity governs the masses. Most men do not hold opinions, opinions hold them. They adopt beliefs that guarantee social approval and avoid those that provoke exile. Their morality, politics, and tastes all mirror their environment. They do not think they echo. The strategist never despises them for this. He simply uses it. There are two ways to wield conformity: through alignment or contrast. Alignment means blending with the pattern of your surroundings to avoid suspicion. The invisible man survives by appearing ordinary, his strength hidden behind the mask of similarity. Contrast means standing apart deliberately, but only once your foundation is secure. When difference becomes a symbol of superiority, the crowd begins to imitate what it once condemned. Both paths use the same law. One hides through conformity, the other commands through it. To escape the dangers of conformity, one must first endure solitude. The strategist spends time outside the group long enough to see it clearly. He observes how easily men surrender individuality for belonging, how quickly they form mobs around mediocrity, how fiercely they defend illusions that protect their comfort. This detachment turns him into an observer rather than a participant, a director rather than an actor. When the strategist returns to society, he wears conformity like a disguise. He speaks the language of the common mind, shares its rituals, nods at its beliefs, but within, he remains untouched. The crowd sees one of its own. He sees a mechanism to be guided. He conforms outwardly to rule inwardly. Yet beware the seduction of belonging. The strategist must never believe the role he plays. The moment he seeks validation from the group, he becomes its prisoner. Praise from the crowd is the most addictive poison in politics, business, or life. It blinds the ruler, flatters the ego, and erodes independence. When the applause of others begins to matter, strategy dies. The wise learn to balance invisibility and individuality. They appear connected, but remain independent. They understand the customs of the many, but follow the principles of the few. To them, conformity is not a chain, it is a tool. Machiavelli understood that control does not come from rebellion, but from mastery of what others obey. The strategist therefore never rejects human nature. He governs it from within. The crowd fears standing alone, but the strategist stands alone precisely so he may direct the crowd. To rule this law, remember, conformity is not your enemy, it is your camouflage. Let the herd move as it will. You will walk among them, unseen, until the moment comes to lead them somewhere they never meant to go. All human behavior, beneath its masks of morality and emotion, is driven by one primal instinct: survival. Every alliance, every betrayal, every act of kindness or cruelty can be traced back to this ancient current. The Machiavellian strategist understands that survival is not merely physical, it is psychological, social, and reputational. People fight not only to live, but to matter. Machiavelli wrote that men will risk everything to avoid ruin, yet they will risk even more to preserve their image of dignity. This dual nature is the heart of power. People will endure hardship silently if they believe it preserves status. They will rebel instantly if they feel humiliated. To rule others, you must understand not what they want to achieve, but what they cannot bear to lose. The strategist reads every individual as a creature of preservation. The soldier fights for honor because honor is survival of meaning. The politician lies for legacy because legacy is survival of name. The common man conforms because acceptance is survival of belonging. The instinct never changes, only its disguise does. Once you recognize what each person equates with survival, you possess the invisible map of their behavior. To master this law, you must accept the ruthlessness of nature without becoming consumed by it. The strategist knows that survival demands adaptation. When circumstances shift, he adjusts without sentiment. He does not cling to principles that no longer serve, nor to relationships that no longer protect. His loyalty is to endurance. Adaptability, however, is not opportunism. It is clarity, the recognition that the environment always wins. The strategist moves with the current when it leads to safety and against it when it leads to weakness. He evolves faster than others because he watches reality, not comfort. Those who cannot adapt call him cold. Those who depend on him call him wise. Power and survival are twins. Power ensures survival, and survival grants the time to gain more power. The Machiavellian strategist never seeks dominance for vanity's sake. He seeks it because weakness invites destruction. Those who cannot command their world are consumed by it. The strong do not always rule the weak, but they always outlast them. To apply this law, you must see life as a series of shifting terrains. Every environment has its rules. In politics, perception; in business, leverage; in relationships, emotion. To survive, you must read the terrain faster than others, adapt your strategy before they sense danger, and strike only when your position is unassailable. But above all, remember, survival is not only about preserving the body, it is about preserving identity. People will destroy others to maintain their illusions. The strategist does not compete for illusion, he builds reality. He makes himself indispensable, irreplaceable, untouchable. That is his ultimate form of survival, not by hiding, but by making his absence unthinkable. Machiavelli would say that the wise do not fear change, they use it as proof of superiority. The strategist survives every storm because he never confuses comfort with security. He walks calmly through chaos, knowing that power belongs not to the loudest, but to the last. Human nature does not evolve, it repeats. The wise study its patterns, the powerful shape them. These laws are not codes of morality, but blueprints of command. Read them, apply them, and walk among men with eyes open. The crowd reacts, the strategist foresees. The difference between them is vision, and vision is power. Subscribe and return for the next lesson, where Machiavelli's timeless realism meets the modern struggle for dominance, clarity, and control.